Respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a warm welcome and a very good morning to all of you. As a principal of College of Engineering, Andhra University, I am delighted and honored to be part of this program at our esteemed university. Today, we are here to participate in a resource lecture organized by our university on the occasion of Amritkaal vision on the most important topic, national security, by Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM. This lecture primarily focuses on the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. PVGD Prasad Reddy, is committed to provide the quality education and create a conducive learning environment for the students on the campus. He consistently encourages such programs to enlighten our students and faculty. I would like to bring to the kind notice of our esteemed guests that a School of Defense Studies has been established as a part of the integration of academia and defense in accordance with the vision of our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Under this school, various MOUs have been signed with the Defense, Army, Navy, and Air Force. This particular school also provides the pre-release courses to the defense personnel. I now request Professor V. Krishnamohan, Registrar, Andhra University, to come and occupy the chair on the dais. Ms. Vinutna will present a bouquet to Professor V. Krishnamohan, Registrar of Andhra University. I now request Professor K. Samatha, Rector, Andhra University, to come and occupy the chair on the dais. Ms. Saujanya will present a bouquet to Professor K. Samatha, Madam. It is now privileged to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor PVGD Prasad Reddy, to come and preside over the function from the dais. Ms. Chandana and Jagadish will present a bouquet to our Professor PVGD Prasad Reddy. I feel honored to invite Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM, GOC, to come on to the dais. Ms. Spandana will present a bouquet to Lieutenant General Raja Subramani. Now I will take the privilege to provide a brief introduction of our today's speaker, Lieutenant General Raja Subramani. Lieutenant General N. Sri Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM, is a 1985 batch officer who graduated from NDA and IMA. The general officer was commissioned into the Garhwal Rifles. He is an alumnus of Joint Services Command Staff College, UK, and National Defence College, New Delhi. He holds a Master of Arts degree from King's College, London, and an MPhil degree in Defence Studies from University of Madras. Throughout his distinguished career of over 35 years, he has served in various capacities covering a wide range of conflicts and terrains. The General Officer's prominent staff and instructional assignments include Defense Attaché in Kazakhstan, DDG of Military Intelligence in the Integrated Headquarters of Ministry of Defense, Army, Brigadier General Staff Operations in the Eastern Command, Chief Instructor Army at Defense Services Staff College, Wellington, and Chief of Staff, Northern Command. For his distinguished service to the nation, he has been awarded Ati Vishisht Seva Medal, Sana Medal and Vishisht Seva Medal. He is married to Mrs. Mahalashmi Subramani, and the couple are blessed with a daughter and a son who are based in Europe. Now I request all the dignitaries on the dais to participate in lighting the lamp ceremony.
Vandanam, Abhivandanam, Vandanam, Abhivandanam, Vandanam, Shubha Vandanam, Andhra Vishwa Kalavataliki, Akhila Shastra Vikasa Murtiki, Andhra Vishwa Kalavataliki, Akhila Shastra Vikasa Murtiki, Vandanam, Abhivandanam, Shubha Vandanam, Vandanam, Abhivandanam, Shubha Vandanam. చదువు తల్లికి మేడగట్టిన మహాపురుషులు తత్వవేత్తలు, చదువు తల్లికి మేడగట్టిన
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests on the dais. Today we have a chief guest in the midst of all of us. Lieutenant General N.S. Raja Subramani. And on behalf of the entire university fraternity, the rector, the registrar, and all the principals, and most importantly, all the students, I take the privilege to extend a very, very warm welcome to N.S. Raja Subramani to the precincts of Andhra University. Welcome him with a big round of applause. A small brief of Andhra University. Established in the year 1926, this university was led by three great visionaries who were in fact the founding fathers of Andhra University for over 40 full years, right from 1926 onwards. Sir Kattamanchi Ramalinga Reddy, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and then followed by Dr. V.S. Krishna during the formative years of 40 years. And with such legacy of leadership, attaining and sustaining excellence has become the motto and ingrained into the culture of Andhra University. And you know, this university, Andhra University, has the distinction of having 5 Shanti Swaroop Bhatnagar awardees, 2 Padma Vibhushan awardees, and 1 Padma Bhushan awardee, and 5 Padma Shri awardees, with the recent addition of 2 more in 2023 among its alumni. Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman was very closely associated with laying the research foundation in the Department of Physics. Professor C.R. Rao, a renowned statistician who passed away very recently, a week back, at the age of 102, was a student of Andhra University. This particular university, 500-acre campus, is presently structured into 7 constituent colleges with 64 academic departments, 16 advanced research centers, with 287 affiliated colleges. The campus strength is 16,200, and the affiliated college strength is 1.35 lakhs. And in tune with the new education policy 2020, Andhra University has totally refreshed its purpose over the past 2.5 years while generating human resources, aligning them to be socially relevant, industry ready, and globally connected. A lot of emphasis is being given to policies for innovation in line with the spirit of Make in India movement. Just by the side of this building, a world-class startup ecosystem has been developed, which was inaugurated by none other than our Honorable Chief Minister Sri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu 15 days back, which is a Section 8 company named as AHUB. And I'm so happy to make a mention in front of our chief guest. In that particular technology hub, AHUB, which is full in its capacity, there are 124 startup companies, out of which 104 companies moved into profit stage. Average age of a person who is there in that building is just 22 years. Another facility by name Element has also been inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister. And this particular unit, Element, promotes innovation and incubation activities related to the domain of pharmacy, product testing, product making, formulation, as well as biological monitoring. And the university is in fact, making all the efforts to establish a tie-up with none other than FDA of USA, Food and Drug Administration. Very difficult to reach them, but university already made efforts through one of its very proud alumni who is working there in US FDA. Dr. Carmelo Rosa of FDA Director, America, flew from America to Andhra University directly. And everybody at Delhi, in fact, astonished how come FDA Director flew all the way from America to Andhra University. That was really a proud moment. Happened very recently. Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, RINL, sir, they invested about 3 crores to establish a latest laboratory in medical genetics under a name called BioArbor. And the idea is to, in fact, do research in genetics And is it possible to, in fact, enhance the onset of old age? Good news to most of the senior faculty members. We are in fact doing work on, the old age related issues and how to probably keep them young for a longer duration. That's also happening on the campus. And in collaboration with, none other than IIMs, which is a national institution. This state university, Andhra University, first of its kind in India happened, established a partnership with IIM Visakhapatnam and promoted a new school called Andhra University School of International Business. First of its kind in India. And the intake is 50% Indian students, 50% foreign students. 50% Indian, 50% foreign students. Right? This particular school has been initiated exactly 2 years back. And there in that school, the philosophy, the true philosophy of new education policy, wherein, multi-entry, multi-exit is also being implemented, where a student can experiment and at the end of first year or second year or third year or fourth year or fifth year, either he can take a break, get into some kind of a startup. Probably he can get some kind of a hands-on. If he wants to rejoin, he can rejoin. And if you want to transfer his credits through ABC and want to move elsewhere, all these options are there at Andhra University School of International Business, first of its kind in India. And as such, if you look at the foreign students' strength on the campus, Andhra University is the first university in India which has crossed the mark of 1,000 in strength of foreign students, 1,006 this year, from representing 54 countries. 54 countries. And very recently, when I got an opportunity to speak to the director of ICCR, Delhi, he was making a mention that 1/4 of the scholarships that were sanctioned through ICCR are going to Andhra University. And he was asking me what is the secret. I said, secret is the AU environment. As simple as that. The American Embassy, they have established a corner in Andhra University under a name called American Corner, which started offering services for the last 1 year, and it was inaugurated by our Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu. Sir, Honorable President of India, during 2017, he made a visit to Andhra University campus and inaugurated a center called Center for Defense Studies. And this facility has been recently upgraded to a big school, School of Defense Studies. No other Indian state university has this kind of a mega facility, catering to the needs of defense personnel. Air Chief Marshal B.S. Dhanovaji, Chief of Air Staff Admiral, and Karamveer Singh Ji, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Defense Staff General Bipin Rawat Ji, all these people have visited Andhra University. The university over the last 3 years has signed 35 MOUs with defense authorities. 35. All are operational. And, the dependents of martyrs and battle-disabled soldiers, they were all given up to 75% discount in fees if they wish to join any program offered at Andhra University. And we received, in fact, appreciations from Honorable Prime Minister for the initiative that has been taken up in the university. Generally, a state university affiliates colleges, which offers PG programs, UG programs, engineering programs, etc. Andhra University, in fact, went, a step ahead that way. It has affiliated airfare at Secunderabad. Air warfare. Air warfare is under affiliation of Andhra University today, where, all senior officers who are there with, air warfare, They enroll into a postgraduate program in defense studies offered there at Air Warfare, and Andhra University certifies them and awards degrees to them. Unique. Likewise, INS Vishwakarma of Visakhapatnam, INS Tunir of Mumbai, Air Force Academy, then the GIL. These three are also affiliated by Andhra University. And the School of Defense Studies. It's a big school, in fact, in the other campus, the South Campus, close to Physics Department. It conducts many pre-release courses for retiring, defense soldiers and JCOs. And till today, more than 5,000 uniformed defense personnel have completed PRC programs in the campus. 5,000. A big number that way. And we offer programs such as Diploma in Cyber Security and Diploma in Artificial Intelligence, Robotics, Diploma in Fire and Industrial Safety, Diploma in Disaster Management, Diploma in Marine Engineering, and Diploma in Navigation Systems. These are all, some of the programs. And, the Director General, DGR, Major General Sharad Kapoorji, he was invited by Andhra University very recently for flag hoisting ceremony, and he participated, and he appreciated the university and its initiatives, the greenery initiatives, the environment, and the discipline among the students. All these things were, in fact, well appreciated by Mr. Sharad Kapoor ji. And, last year, before last year, 3 times, if I am correct, in the last, 3 years, the then DRDO chairman, Dr. Satish Reddy, he visited Andhra University, and in fact, he spoke to the students in almost all the auditoriums, including this auditorium, because through this, in fact, we made him to inaugurate our, drone technology center. We have established a center for excellence on drone technologies, and that was inaugurated by Dr. Satish Reddy when he was, in fact, heading the DRDO and related other operations. And another, very important observation, which could be the music to ears of all these, officers who are sitting over here, and people who are accompanying our chief guest. 38 senior officers of armed forces are pursuing PhD programs in Andhra University under transdisciplinary research department. 38 people. All are high-profile, high-ranked officers. It would be a win-win, in fact, for the university, their energy, their experience, their knowledge. And all of them, all 38 of them, have submitted research papers. And very recently, this hub, it has organized a program, a big conference, and believe me, all 38 were present here. Just like, normal students, okay, who will be otherwise forced to join for this seminar, just with a small request. All of them have physically present here, and they participated, presented papers, and it's really an interesting news. And Dr. Arvind Gupta, he's a deputy NSA. He's a very senior person. He has been recognized as a research supervisor by Andhra University Transdisciplinary Hub. And the present Air Marshal, who is a 3-star flag officer, he is admitted as a scholar in Andhra University under the guidance of Dr. Arvind Gupta. So both, supervisors as well as students, both were recognized by the university. So like this, the School of Defense Studies has been really doing great work, and generally the university also will always go for accreditations, recognitions, etc. And most of the students, they are aware that universities were in fact recognized, and accreditations are done by a body called NAC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, which would always ask the university what is the best practice of the university, and what is that, in what way you are different from all the other universities in the last 5 years. I said that Andhra University has set up a best practice by serving the defense personnel. I said, I in fact gave a big note to them, and we are expecting a visit from the team next month, and I am confident that it will be well appreciated, because it is a unique feature established at Andhra University, which would soon be emulated by other universities also.
Concession also.
Yeah, right. So, with these, few remarks, let me once again assure the chief guest that Andhra University would always be your strongest and most reliable partner in achieving the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to make this particular India self-reliant. And let me once again extend a very warm welcome to the chief guest to Andhra University. And this is a university that has changed the destiny of many a stalwart. Thank you.
Now I request Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM to deliver a lecture on Amritkaal Vision for National Security.
How does the slide? How will the slide slide? No. So we do one thing. Yeah, we move down. Okay. And we give a thank you. No, fine. You can. Caller mic. Come.
Call.
I think head mic is there or caller mic?
This is,
which one?
here it is.
It's there. Yeah, it's all.
Slide कैसे हो? How do I do it?
This is forward.
Forward. Okay. Fine. ठीक है. कर दे on कर. लगा दो. Yeah. I'll change it. Wait, go back. Yeah. Tick.
Green is forward.
Okay. If there's any problem, I'll tell you to move. Yeah, fine. Thank you. Jai Hind, everybody. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Professors, the guests present here today, and dear students. Firstly, I want to express my gratitude to the Vice Chancellor for inviting me here for this talk. I'm really proud to be associated with Andhra University. You may not be aware, but I'm a student like you. I have enrolled to do a PhD on change management. While defense is an important aspect, I thought in the spirit of transdisciplinary research and multidisciplinary research, I should do something other than what I do day in and day out. 2 years back, I had done a seminar or a lecture for the entire Indian Army on change management, and that's how I got interested in this subject. Now, without much ado, as far today is concerned, I am going to talk to you on the Amritkaal vision for national security. It's 11:30 now. I'll precisely speak for 45 minutes and stop at 12:15. So now, what do I want to talk about? There are 2-3 themes that I want to speak in this subject. Firstly, as far as Amritkaal is concerned, you're all aware that this is the period between 2022 and 2047. And on 15th August 2022, the Prime Minister Honorable Shri Narendra Modi, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, initiated his vision for Amritkaal as to where India should be from 75 to 100 years and what it should be to gain its rightful place in the committee of world nations. We have also seen 2-3 days back only the Chandrayaan landing on the moon, a great moment of pride for us. India has indeed arrived on the world stage. For the 75 years of independence, we have done a great deal. We have lifted a great number of people from poverty. We have progressed in infrastructure. We have progressed in defense. We have progressed in education. We have progressed in health. But there is still a long way to go. So when I talk about, my topic is Amritkaal vision for national security. What does vision actually mean? Where are we today and where do we want to go? In order to go somewhere, firstly you should know where are you, and you should know where you want to go and the path to reach there. Vision provides us a policy, a guiding light as to how we are going to reach that, and it provides guidance to all organizations of the state to follow that vision, and hence the importance of Amritkaal vision. Now, what is national security? Traditionally, we think of national security as comprising external security, that is protection of our state from external threats, or we think of national security as internal security. These are or probably something to do with disaster relief. However, in the modern times, national security, the definition of national security has widened to encompass various other aspects like economic security, energy security, technological security, space security, human security, name it. All these aspects, they are multidisciplinary. And so during the course of my talk, I will enunciate a vision for how and what we are going to do to ensure that we are we are secure as a nation in 1947. That is one. And I will also enunciate the role of the Indian Army during this role and contribution of the Indian Army in building up our nation and ensuring that we are able to realize our vision. Now, these two quotes, one by Swami Vivekananda and the second by Kautilya, clearly enunciate that a nation or an individual, anybody has to be prepared and he has to plan for the future. If we don't plan for the future and we do not have a clear roadmap as to where we are going, then we are likely to suffer and we are never likely to realize our goal, and hence the importance of having a clear vision and being prepared for the future. In the next 45 minutes or 40 minutes or so now, I will ideate on the future vision or a vision for Amritkaal for national security. Now, any vision for India which is shown on the top of the slide, basically as a country we would like to be economically prosperous, we would like to be secure, we would like to be technologically affluent, we would like to be environmentally clean, and we would like to be a leader in all aspects. In order to do that, we first as a country we need to have a roadmap from now to 2047, 23 to 2047 we need to have a roadmap, and that roadmap, if we look at it as a nation, first consists of having a grand strategy which is enunciated by our leaders as to where and how India needs to be in the various spheres. The national security strategy is a subset of this grand strategy as to how our nation should develop, and in order for it to develop, how the armed forces can secure them and how we need to secure ourselves in the various dimensions. So this is the ends, ways and means. Where we want to reach is the end. The means are the various resources that we are going to use to reach that, and how these resources are going to be deployed and used are the ways. If India is today an emerging power or a middle power, in order to be a major power, it has to develop its comprehensive national power in all aspects, particularly starting with the economy, because if you are not economically secure, if you are not economically growing and you do not have the financial resources, then you cannot deploy your comprehensive national power to enable you to grow in the manner that you want to do so. So this is what I will do. I will first talk briefly about national security and Amritkaal. I will talk about the lines of effort, give you a suggested approach, and if we have time, I am happy to answer questions. Now let me go on to national security and Amritkaal. Any nation firstly has certain core values. There are the core values of the nation and the core values of the people who constitute that nation. As far as India is concerned, it's a secular, socialist, liberal, democratic republic. And our people want to live in an environment which is safe and secure and where they can follow their dreams unhindered or uninterrupted by anybody. These are our core values. What are our national interests? Our national interests are that we should be able to protect the state and the people from any threats that prevent us from growing or prevent us from realizing our vision for the future. These could be protection of our territorial integrity, protection of our territorial sovereignty, ensuring that we have a rightful place in global affairs, that we are a rule shaper and not a rule follower. So this is how we encapsulate our national interests. Each of these national interests and our core values are subjected to threats, whether they be external, whether they be internal. And when we talk about threats, we have normally been talking about the traditional threats. that is security threats. But today there are non-traditional threats too: pandemics, cyber attacks, weather events, environmental events, energy shortage. All these form part of non-traditional threats. What do I mean by black swan events? Any unexpected event which can disrupt your planned path for future could be called a black swan event. COVID-19 was one black swan event which disrupted the entire world economy and which disrupted the entire global system. A nation has, when it's formulating its plan for national security, to be prepared to weather these black swan events. And if we look at the start point of 2023, I have divided this phase up to 2047 into three stages. One, short term, which is 5 years up to 2027, mid term, that is 15 years from now up to 2037, and long term, that is up to 2047. Now, from the national aims, core values and our national interests, we can derive our national objectives which are shown on the slide. Firstly, to protect ourselves from external and internal threats. Secondly, to ensure that as a people we are prosperous. And thirdly, that we are able to expand ourselves both in Asia and the globe in an environment of peace and prosperity. In order to do that, the various organs of the state, whether it be defense, whether it be diplomacy, interstate relations, economic security, etc., have various tasks for them which are as listed on the slide. If we look at all this, the point I am trying to make is that security is not only related to defense. Security is a whole of nation approach, and each and every one of us have a reason, has to contribute to the overall security of the nation. I have divided this security aspect into concentric circles. Why have I not kept them standalone? Because each aspect, each domain of security is linked to the other. In the center, I have kept economic security, and then you can see the traditional security threats which are in red, that is the external and internal security, and the non-traditional ones, energy, technology, human, environmental, and the list is endless. However, economic security is the one which is a pivot for securing your national interests. If you cannot secure your resources, if you cannot grow as a country, if you cannot secure your economy, then all other aspects are going to suffer. Therefore, economic security is the pivot as far as national security is concerned. Now, this I have taken from a report by the Asia Power Index, which measured a country on 133 attributes. I have taken on the top resources, and the second line is influence. Resources consist of economic, diplomatic, business, future resources, etc. And influence consists of economic relationship, defense, cultural, other aspects. When we look at it, India on this study ranks number 4. And we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. Strengths are our geographical location, our demographic dividend which we have, our soft power, and others as listed on the slide. However, we have to ensure that this demographic dividend does not become a demographic curse. This will only happen if we are able to grow and ensure that all our people are able to get good jobs, are able to get good employment, and are able to live the life that they want to. I have listed the challenges on the right side, basically unsettled borders, climate change, the lack of a manufacturing base, our human development index which requires improvement. So these are the challenges that we are going to face. If we are able to plan properly, we should aim by 2047 to become the third leading country in the world, and after that look at overtaking both the United States and China in the near future. Now, what is it that we would like India to be? In 2047, it should be among the top 10 countries where the people would want to live. Our economy should have grown to between $25 to $30 trillion. And we should be a significant participant in defining the world order. How will we be able to do that? In terms of external security, we should have been able to settle our borders and live peacefully with our neighbors. In terms of internal security, we should be able to solve the problem in Jammu and Kashmir, solve the problem in Northeast, solve the problem as far as the left-wing extremism is concerned, and as a nation, we should be able to overcome our communal, religious divide or other issues that confront us. And the other aspects I have clearly said, in technology, we should be the global trendsetter, and as far as human security is concerned, all of us, all our citizens should be able to live in a harmonious and prosperous society and be able to lead a dignified life where they can pursue their dreams without fear. When you look at the 5 C's which are on top, today, peace and conflict are not separate. They are interlinked in a continuum right from cooperation to conflict. And conflicts or the contest between nations is 24/7. We are living in a pervasive environment where each country is trying to enhance its power at the expense of the other country. So therefore, we should understand that national security and the threats to national security are not separate but 24/7 and pervasive in the grey zone. If we want to become prosperous, firstly we should have safe and settled borders. Not only should we be able to do Atmanirbharta, but we should be able to manufacture in India and make for the world. We have to have modernized security forces, have a spirit of nation building, be able to shape the global commons and ensure that our citizens are able to live securely and safely. For this, we require a whole of nation approach and a change in our mindset. So when we look at, in part 2 of this presentation, I'll talk about the various lines of efforts that we have to look at for realizing our vision, and you again see I have put economic security right in the center. When we talk about economic security, there are 2-3 things that we have to look at. Firstly, India has to have a strong manufacturing base. Any country which does not have a strong manufacturing base will not be able to protect its interests. We are seeing the breakdown of the global supply chains in COVID. We have seen the world moving on from offshoring to China to friendly shoring. If you are able to build a strong manufacturing base, if you are able to enhance our infrastructure, if you are able to enhance the ease of doing business in India, then India will be the destination that the world's foreign manufacturers will come to. Investment from India alone will not be able to take us where we want to go. We do require foreign direct investment, and foreign direct investment will only come to the country which makes the ease of business doing well, transparency is there, infrastructure is provided. All these aspects together serve as a conducive environment for growing our economy. On the red, I have shown the various disruptive factors that can impact our economic growth, and as a nation we have to guard. For ensuring economic security, there are multiple stakeholder and multiple lines of efforts. Here I have shown where are we in 2022, where do we want to be in 2027, 2037 and 2047. I have broken it down into GDP, exports, manufacturing GDP, ease of doing business, logistic performance, share of global GDP growth. These are markers. As a country, we have to look at enhancing all these markers. This is from a Morgan Stanley research report of 2022. And the economic security angle is the core angle in case we have to develop and be secure as a nation. Now, what is the Indian Army's contribution? Generally, people think that money spent on security forces is a waste. That is not true. The Indian Army's capital budget, the salary budget, the non-salary revenue, all of them contribute towards the economy's growth. As we are saying, it contributes to our capability development, it contributes to the local economy. And the Indian Army today is ensuring that 100% of its procurements are indigenous, and by 2047, today exports are at 15,000 crores. By 2047, we aim to enhance our exports to 2.5 lakh crores, and 75% of our equipment will be indigenous by 2047. In addition to this, all of you have heard of Gati Shakti, the program which the the initiative which the Prime Minister has taken to ensure that our logistics facilities are improved, our infrastructure is improved. What I am showing for the Indian Army is equally true for the Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy. Here only I am talking about the Army, but similarly the Navy and the Air Force also contribute. The Indian Army, by virtue of its presence, contributes to the development of the border areas in terms of vibrant villages, in terms of education of the people in the border areas, in terms of adventure sports, remote access, etc. We are present in all the border areas of our countries, and our aim is to ensure that the village which are on the border areas think of themselves as the first and not the last Indian village. The traditional domains of security, we are all aware, are external and internal security. Here we are aware of the challenges. We have evolved structures to combat these challenges, and we have streamlined processes as far as the response matrix is concerned. I'll briefly touch upon the global security environment. You are all aware as to what are the geopolitical dynamics, the conflict between USA and China, the conflict in Ukraine, the conflict in the Middle East, all of which are contributing to geopolitical instability. More than geopolitics today, the world is facing geoeconomic threats. Each and every country wants to ensure that it is a technological leader, it has the lead as far as economy is concerned, while at the same time ensuring that its competitor is not able to overtake it as far as economic threats are concerned. And the third point is the non-traditional threats, from pandemics to floods to disasters, etc. Similarly, any nation, in addition to considering the global security environment, has also to look at its regional security environment. As far as India is concerned, it has to look right from the Middle East, that is the Straits of Hormuz, to the Straits of Malacca and east towards Australia, and on to our other side it has to look at Africa and the Indian Ocean region. Our regional security matrix is not only confined to our neighboring states, but also the Indian Ocean region and the countries, the littoral countries which are adjoining the Indian Ocean region. India aims to be a net security provider in this region by virtue of its geographical location and by virtue of its armed forces being able to provide this. So what is the contribution that the armed forces do in enhancing our geostrategic influence? The armed forces exercise with a number of countries. They exercise training engagements which they have with the other countries, and similarly UN peacekeeping. This enhances the geostrategic influence that we have both in the region as well as in the. As far as external security is concerned, we are aware that we have threats from both China and Pakistan. We have threats from the coast. In terms of smuggling, narcotics, etc., all these aspects contribute to external security, are external threats. What is the Indian Army planning to do? While we are guarding it today, what in 2047 we look at the borders being fully developed, the border region J&K and Northeast being integrated with us, and all our internal problems being solved by 2047 with tech-driven solutions and an integrated border security apparatus. When we look at our internal security, the major issues are in Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast, the Naxalite threat in the left-wing extremism, as well as the agrarian distress, the communal disturbances, the ethnic clashes, etc. The Indian Army, along with the Ministry of Home Affairs and the other intelligence agencies, is looking at ensuring that there is an integrated response for us to deal with all these internal security threats. We have an effective response mechanism. We as a country should be totally stable and be able to deal with any internal threats that can occur by 2047. This will ensure that as a country both our external and internal environment are secure and we are able to progress towards our vision. In terms of defense capabilities, the Indian Army and the entire armed forces are looking to be a technologically modernized force. I have identified 10 key areas in which we are looking at, whether it be AI, whether it be quantum, whether it be robotics, cyber, etc. These are the areas that we are looking at to enhance our technological capability. What we would like to do is to build our defense industrial base, expand defense exports, and also work with academia and institutions like Andhra University to ensure that the Indian Army's technological edge is constantly sharpened and strengthened, and we become among the leading and most modernized armies in the world. Now I'll talk about the non-traditional domains of security, that is energy, human, environment and technology. There are many others, but I'll only talk about these four. When we look at this, these threats have been emerging, and we are not fully aware as to how to deal with them. Structures do not exist, they are still nascent, and this requires lot of interministerial coordination and a whole of nation approach for us to deal with these threats. When we look at environmental security, all of you recently have read about the rains and the floods which have happened in Himachal Pradesh, which have happened in Uttarakhand, the cyclones that are occurring. All these are occurring due to climate change. We have to be cognizant of the effect on climate change on our environment and the effect that is going to have on our economy. India is among the leading polluting nations in the world. We are in the top 10 as far as pollution is concerned. The Prime Minister has spoken about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. There are a number of initiatives as far as green initiatives concerned. We as citizens have to be concerned about environmental security, and we have to do our bit to ensure that we are able to preserve our environment for the future. Now again, I have listed where we should be, whether in terms of greenhouse gas emissions, whether it be in terms of renewable energy, forest cover, etc. Today our forest cover is at 30. We should be at 40% by 2047. Our development has to be balanced and sustainable in case as a nation we have to progress. What is the Indian Army's contribution? Whether it be in terms of green habitats, Amrit Sarovar, that is creation of lakes across the country, rainwater harvesting, Swachh Bharat, clearing of waste. In every aspect, the Indian Army is in the forefront as far as environmental conservation is concerned. Similarly, because of the effects of climate change, in addition to the NDRF and SDRF, Indian Army, by virtue of its pan-India reach, is amongst the forefront or the first responder to any disaster, whether it be in the country or whether it be abroad. On the right top, when you see, that is the disaster response. Indian Army Field Hospital was the first to respond to the disaster in Turkey, and you would have all seen this photograph which went viral on the net. As far as energy security is concerned, we as a nation are dependent quite a bit on fossil fuels. Even this Ukraine-Russia conflict has made us realize as to how dependent we are on energy resources. While we are getting cheap energy from Russia, the Western countries and the others are up in arms against us, are critical of us for getting this energy. But we have no option, because majority of our import bill comprises of energy imports. What we need to do is to reduce the share of our fossil fuels in our energy mix and look at having renewable energy, whether it be solar energy, hybrids, hydrogen energy, etc., in enhancing our renewable energy mix, so that we are able to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. The shocks that are likely to happen, I have shown it in red. Unless we reduce our import dependency and ensure that we are energy self-sufficient, or at least our energy matrix is more to non-renewable energies, rather renewable energy sources, we will continue to be dependent on others and will not be able to progress. Again, I have shown as to whether it be renewable energy, wind, energy import, etc., where we should be. Today, 3.5% of our GDP is spent on energy imports. By 2047, we should aim to reduce it to 1.5%. We should enhance our renewable energy capacity in all aspects, and that is the main mission as far as the Prime Minister is concerned in terms of green initiatives. What does the Indian Army do? Whether it be green habitats, whether it be solar power, participation in the green hydrogen mission, hydropower, electric mobility, LEDization, etc., we as armed forces are in the forefront of the country's transition to renewable energy resources. As far as technology is concerned, all of you would be aware of the recent contest between China and USA. Anybody who dominates the technological high ground today and in the future will be the leading country in the world. The US is doing its best to ensure that China is denied the capability to make the highest quality of chips. In a motor car, in your car that you drive today consists of more than 1,000 chips. Everything is run by chips, and as we progress to Internet of Energy things and as we progress to 5G, etc., we will be more and more dependent upon technology. It is for India to develop, innovate and develop an indigenous R&D force base, develop a workforce and seize the high ground on technology if we are to grow as a nation and realize our vision for Amritkaal 2047. And I have looked at the various, all of you are aware of the disruption that ChatGPT has caused. We are now thinking that ChatGPT has come, jobs will go away. I remember the time when computers came. All the employees of State Bank of India went on strike that we will only use registers, we will not use computers because our jobs will go away. Rather, it created more jobs. They had to re-equip themselves, re-skill themselves. Can any of us imagine an era where you have to stand in line again and go to computers, go to the bank for registers, whereas you are today able to bank from an ATM, you are able to bank online, you are able to bank from your mobile phone. Similarly, unless we as a nation unlearn and relearn and reskill and equip ourselves to cope with the fast changing technology, we will fall behind. Hence, my focus on this technological security. Again, a technological roadmap I have laid out for you in terms of R&D, in terms of innovation, in terms of competitiveness, AI, network readiness, etc. What I am doing here is to ignite your minds, make you think that security is not only somebody standing on the border or some policeman standing on the road or somebody combating the criminals or the terrorists. Security is all encompassing and each of us can contribute in our own way to ensure that the nation progresses. Indian Army, what is it doing as far as digital initiatives are concerned? We have got our own fiber optic network of around 60,000. We are at the leading edge as 60,000 kilometers. We are at the leading edge as far as quantum, AI, blockchain technology, etc. are concerned. We have got our own labs and we are actively collaborating with the industry to ensure that we become a digitized and modernized force. In space, in addition to, we are closely collaborating with the DRDO ISRO, because space not only provides remote sensing, it provides position, navigation and timing, it provides communication, it provides surveillance and reconnaissance. Anybody who controls space is the one who is going to win the battle of the future. Indian Army is cognizant of it. We are working with the Defence Space Agency. We have created a Defence Space Agency. We are working with the ISRO to ensure that we also progress in space, and with the leaps and bounds progress made by ISRO, I have no doubt that we will also be able to be part of this progress. I have kept human security to the last, but human security is the most and primary importance of national security. If we do not have an educated workforce, our demographic dividend will turn into a demographic curse. Unless each and every citizen can stay in a secure, safe environment where he can pursue his dreams without fear and ensure that he is able to speak freely, he is able to do whatever he wants in a manner that enables him to progress, we as a nation will not be able to. And we require a country where our citizens are healthy, where they are educated, where they are technologically empowered, where they are secure. If human security is ensured, it will directly impact economic security, it will take care of external and internal security, and we as a nation will be able to progress. Now, I have given various human development indices, whether it be the literacy rate, whether it be minimum wages, per capita income, labor force participation, participation of women in the economy. All this we need to make progress from where we are to 2032. I have left 2027 because 5 years is too short a time in this case. I have worked out as to where we should be in 2032, 10 years hence, and where we should be in 2047. I am looking at boundless expanse as far and improvement in all these parameters as far as our country is concerned. What does the Indian Army do? We have a number of schools, particularly in the border area. We have schools for our children. We educate the people in the border areas. We empower them with a sense of nationalism, and in all aspects we are contributing to the human security of the nation. Towards security is not only education, it is physical fitness, participation in games, awareness about health. You see Neeraj Chopra, yesterday only he won the World Cup. He is an Indian Army JCO. He is in Rajrif. Yesterday only he won, and he made the country proud. In other aspects also, the Indian Army is looking at ensuring that our country is able to participate and win medals in Olympics under our Mission Olympic scheme. As far as strengthening the national fiber is concerned, all our citizens should have a sense of duty towards the nation, a sense of nationalism. This we do by having various programs. The NCC, which is 15 lakhs strong, we are looking at enhancing it to 25 lakhs in the next 5 to 10 years and taking it to 500 crore by 2047. Now, I'll just, in the last part of my lecture, I will just speak what should be our suggested approach. Now, I've taken firstly the traditional security, the external internal security, where we should be, a safe borders, safe country within, and in economic security we need to look at self-reliance, we need to look at dual-use infra, that is civil-military fusion, and in terms of environment, energy, technology and human security, I have clearly initiated as to what the Indian Army is doing, and I am looking at what we can do for the future. In Amritkaal, there will be military-civil fusion, where both the military and civil will cooperate intimately with each other. And when I talk about military-civil fusion, I am talking about fusion between the armed forces, between the industry, between the citizens and academia, to ensure that all of us progress in the manner that is desired. There are challenges as far as civil-military fusion is concerned. Still, as a country, we operate in stovepipes. The left does not seem to know what the right is doing. We need to align our goals in a manner that both the civil and military resources are harmonized for dual-use technologies, for infrastructure development, as also for operational collaboration. We already have made great strides in this, and this is the path to the future. Each of us firstly needs to build awareness about each other, and this lecture here today is one step in that awareness as to how you too can contribute towards national security, and how the armed forces are contributing towards nation building. When we look at a cluster approach, security is not alone. See, on the left I am talking about external security. If you do not have external and internal security, then you will not be able to progress economically. So, all the three are interconnected. This is not a debate between guns and butter. Both are equally important. You cannot spend too much of guns at the expense of butter. Only when your economy increases will you be able to spend adequate money on both external and internal security, which in turn will ensure that you are able to develop economically. Similarly, when you look at energy and environment, it is intricately related to human security as well as technological development. As you use technology, you will be able to reduce your reliance on fossil fuels. You will go more and more towards renewable energy, you will go towards green initiatives. As that happens, the quality of the environment will improve. As the quality of environment improves, your human security will improve. In order to use technology, you require skilled and an educated workforce. So, all the three are interconnected and there are linkages between them. Now, I am just giving you a small example. If the land borders have to be secured and we are talking about security and surveillance infrastructure, I have listed out in 27, 32, 37, 42 and 40 enhance the various tools to ensure that our land borders are secure. Borders are not secure and people are migrating from the borders to the hinterland in search of jobs. Then who will be looking at your borders? Who will guard your borders? So therefore, development of villages, development of roads, development of jobs, all these as a roadmap, all stakeholder ministries have to work together. Similarly, we have to look at developing our relations with our close neighbors in South Asia, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Bhutan. How are we going to develop our relations? Because in our mutual interdependence lies success and progress for all of us. I have finished as far, I told you 12:15, I have finished 5 minutes earlier. So in case there are any questions, I would be happy to answer. I just want to briefly recapitulate the main issues. Security is not only external and internal security. Security is not only the responsibility of the armed forces, security is the responsibility of each and every one of us. If we understand this and we understand the vision for Amritkaal security, then we as a nation will be well on our road to progress and realizing the goal of our vision for our centenary, that is 2047, where I envision a prosperous, technologically developed, environmentally reliant and an energy self-reliant India, which is able to have a safe, secure environment where all its citizens can progress and develop without fear and favor. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Just now we have seen a wonderful research lecture on Amritkaal Vision for National Security by Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM. Any questions from audience, please?
Yes, please.
Hello sir, good morning. Sir, where do you fit Dhamma and non-violence in national security?
Okay. Firstly, you can only be non-violent if you carry a strong stick and somebody else is afraid of you. If you are weak and non-violent, nobody is going to respect you. While you're right, Gandhi professed non-violence. He said that if you are slapped on one cheek, you should take the slap on other cheek also. But in a world where states compete with each other and look at maximizing their power at the expense of the other states, nobody is going to respect a weak state which does not have the ability to protect itself. Even as a citizen, if you can't protect yourself, either the state should protect you, or if you cannot protect yourself, then you are going to be victimized. So that is as far as non-violence is concerned. Non-violence has its place, but not in context between states, not in context between security. We require a strong army to deter our neighbors and adversaries from coming into our country. Now, dharma, that's a very important aspect, and we as a nation have to, when I talk about dharma, I will change it slightly and I'll talk about dharma being the correct values, practicing the correct things, having a corruption-free society, having a rule-based society where every citizen understands his responsibility to the nation and fulfills those responsibilities. If we look at this as dharma, then it is important for each and every one of us to understand our contribution to the nation and practice it. Therefore, dharma, yes. Non-violence on its own, no. Strength is the only parameter that is respected. Okay. Anybody else? Yes, please.
Sir, my question is on the human security.
Yes, please.
Yes, if you see the current demographic distribution of the youth, and they are highly disturbed and then not confident. And are we really looking into this ever-changing scenario of the youth and their strong points and weak points to contribute towards the national security, particularly with the human resources?
Yes, please. Firstly, as far as today's youth are concerned, I do not look at them as disturbed. I look at them as aspirational. I look at them as ambitious. I look at them as wanting. I look at them as technologically reliant, empowered, and wanting a bright future for themselves. Today's Gen Z is better than the millennials and better than what we were before. So I am quite confident in the ability of the present generation to take India to the heights that we are looking at. That said, if our generation Z, that is today's youngsters, want to progress, want to aspire for a better life, then what is the role of the state? The role of the state is to ensure that they are provided avenues for education. They are provided avenues for upskilling themselves. They are provided access to digital tools. I have no doubt in my mind that we have the most intelligent and empowered workforce in the world. Just look at USA, whether it be what's his name, Nadella, or whether it be the Google. Most of the CEOs in USA are from India. So I am not aping them, but they went from here and succeeded. Here also, the new generation of innovations, the new generation of startups, we have a workforce and youth which is bursting at its seams to ensure that we progress. And I am quite confident in your ability. And I am quite sure that provided the right opportunities, each one of you will be able to make a difference to the world. Notwithstanding that, I had made my point that while we have a wonderful demography, if we do not provide the opportunities, this demographic dividend should not turn into a demographic curse. This is our responsibility, and your responsibility as the younger generation is to seize the opportunities that are provided to you. Now, since how many of you are movie fans here? All? So, 3 days before, I was traveling on a plane from Patna to Lucknow, and I met Rajnikant, and I sat next to him on the plane, and we spoke for 1 hour, and then he came to my house. We had breakfast together. So I asked Rajnikant as to what is the secret of your success. So he said 3 things which will be very important to each one of you. 1, discipline. 2, seize the opportunity. Opportunities will come in your life. You have to be awake and you have to seize the opportunity. 3, have the correct values, dharma. Have the correct values. So if you have these 3 things, you as a young generation will succeed and propel India to new heights. Look at ISRO. With minimum resources, we are the 4th country to land a rover on the moon and the 1st country to land it on South Pole. Did you not see? So I am very confident, and I am very confident about our abilities. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Sir, we the people of Andhra University very glad to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, since the last 40 years we are exporting from the weapons since Russia, sir. Now we are exporting to BrahMos missiles to Philippines, Vietnam, Azerbaijan, sir. Since the BrahMos missiles are very useful, sir. Since we hope, sir, we think still the Indian Army will import major weapons, sir.
Little bit up. Yes, please. So you are talking about us initially importing weapons from Russia and now we are exporting weapons outside. What is the question?
It will increase or more exporting weapons to other nations?
Yes, it will increase. Firstly, as far any other point? Only this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please sit down. What's your name?
Vishwaksen, sir.
A very, very important and relevant question. You are all aware of the Prime Minister's focus on Atmanirbharta. I had shown you a slide of the modernized and technological forces and what is our path. Today we are exporting 15,000 crores of weapons to the foreign countries. Previously we did not export because there was a license raj and there was restrictions. Secondly, we did not have a strong manufacturing base. But today we are encouraging both the public and private sector and academia to work together to ensure that we are able to develop weapons on our own. The Russian-Ukraine conflict has amply proved that no country can be dependent on somebody else for its critical weapons, critical material that it requires. So the Indian Armed Forces, including the Army, the Navy, have gone about in a methodical manner to start building weapons itself. I'll give you some example. The Tejas Mark 1, which is being made by the Hindustan Aeronautical Limited. Now we are making Tejas Mark 2. The ships that the Navy is manufacturing. The drones that our manufacturers are manufacturing. I am quite confident, and I had said that from 15,000 crores, by 2047 we will reach a figure of 2.5 lakh crores. And we will be among the top manufacturing countries in the world. Self-reliance will ensure that we are able to give employment to our people, we are able to develop our industry, we are able to develop our critical weapons, and we are able to be technologically empowered. There is no other way but to manufacture our weapons ourselves, make in India, export to the world. So that's what we are going to do.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to felicitate Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, AVSM, SM, VSM, GOC in C Central Command. I also request principals, rector and registrar sir to join with him.
Divergent topics, you are able to connect. Followed by their exchange of first is all.
So in conclusion, vote of thanks by Professor V. Krishnamohan, Registrar of Andhra University.
Good afternoon, all of you. Esteemed Vice Chancellor and resource person who delivered
Amritkaal vision for national security, and our rector madam, Professor Samatha, principal, and faculty members, their students, participants from Center for Defense Studies, AU School of International Business, I could see few faces, and the other faculty members, invitees. I feel very honored to propose a formal vote of thanks on the occasion of this wonderful lecture organized at Andhra University to introduce to all of you what is the broader scope of national security by AVSM, SM, VSM. You know, the students who are sitting here may not be knowing the true meaning and what are these medals and the highest medals awarded in defense. Since I'm a NCC C certificate holder, I know the value of all these, how people struggle to get these awards, and Lieutenant General Raja Subramani, who has delivered a wonderful lecture to improve our perspective of what does national security mean. National security do not mean only protecting borders of the nation. It goes much beyond the territories protection and how every sphere of human well-being is connected and concerned with national security. So beautifully, conceptual clarity is there in every word he has spoken, finally narrowing down all divergent topics which are current issues, emerging dimensions, divergent topics into the convergence of, at the end, human security and human well-being, how the national security need to provide the livelihood, the environment, and also the future economic strength, the progress of the nation. I think this is the lecture that integrates every dimension, every discipline for the benefit of the students and the faculty, whoever is present here. It is truly a multidisciplinary lecture that has opened up many dimensions, ultimately should lead to common concern of everyone. How do we protect human beings and their well-being on this planet? That is the only issue. Today all over the world, every government is working, and India, how it can be a progressive nation by 2047, how it is going to join those developed nations, is beautifully explained by the speaker, and I take, with profound, acknowledgement for his valuable time and also valuable inputs that are provided, which will go a long way, not only in understanding the dynamic forces that are operating on national security. It is both for understanding youngsters, whoever wanted to take these topics into their researchable areas so that they can also pursue their career opportunities in those emerging areas. And he has touched every sphere, including the technological dimension, how technology is not going to remove jobs, how technology rather creating wonderful opportunities in the years to come. And in the question answer session, I am so glad that he has so much empathy towards younger generation, especially the demographic dividend. The way he explained how today's youth are going to be the future of India, what they are aiming at, how they are progressive, and how they are going to bring laurels to motherland, wherever they are in the globe. Wherever in the world market, Indians has a distinctive place. Definitely we can prove our mettle. All of us should believe that we are second to none in the world, is the, I think, perspective of the honorable speaker. And these ideas definitely are going to provide required motivation, inspire the younger generation that what is positive side should always be given a serious concern. Definitely, when you want to take the positive aspects, the negativity should be avoided, is the critical message that he has delivered, as I understand, through his question and answer session, very beautifully handled by him. Sir, on behalf of all the faculty, on behalf of the administration, and also on behalf of our beloved Vice Chancellor, who has taken personal interest in organizing this lecture on this day, definitely is a wonderful day to each one of us. We are highly thankful to you for the resource lecture, as well as for your valuable time, taking time to travel all the way and coming here and delivering such an excellent lecture and outstanding lecture. All of us thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I request you all to stand up for national anthem, please.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे